Hello, my name is Navigator. In today's video, as quick as I can possibly make it, we are going to be going over everything that I picked up at That 80s Toy Shop and maybe a couple other places, in Tonawanda, New York. I went out there this week to visit my girlfriend for the holidays, and I went in there like every single day. I was, reminiscing on things that I had seen and debating whether to get them. I had seen them posting stuff on Facebook. So from Tuesday to today, I was in there every single day. It was actually quite funny, but I'll leave it there. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over all the loose figures that I got. That is majority of what I picked up. Although I did get some in-box stuff as well and some other bits and bobs that we'll go over. But with that being said, I kind of have them segmented here. So we'll start over here with all the wrestling figures that I did pick up. And starting off here, from 1811 Comics in Williamsville, New York, just next to Tonawanda, I found this Blade Runner Sting Basic. Don't have too many kind of Surfer Sting figures. I believe this is actually my first one. And for 10 bucks, I thought it was kind of a steal. I think it goes for like 20, 25 on eBay, so I'm very glad to have this. And just an interesting thing, it's not too beat up. There are some marks here and there, but overall it's in pretty decent shape, and it's Sting, so you can't go wrong with any Sting figures. I'll throw that off to the side. Next up here, we did get another Deluxe Aggression Sandman. This was in like a $5 bin at That 80s Toy Shop. It's really loose, but it is good to have an extra of figures that you like. This Sandman was one of my favorite of all times for quite a while, and then they came out with the Elite version of it. But I picked up another one because the head and the neck on mine are a little cracked, so I figured that this one was at least the head was an okay, an okay position, okay, what's the word that I'm looking for there? Oh my God, condition. I was thinking like possession, but condition, okay condition. So I grabbed that for an extra $5. So we have that. Just an extra Sandman figure laying around. Next up here we do have, and I'm not sure what Elite series this is. This is going to be the Elite Samoa Joe, and I'm going to keep all these guys in the bags. You guys can see them well. Shows off all the accessories and everything. I'm going to go through these after the video, clean them, pose them around, get the accessories all going. But for now, I'm just going to keep them in the bag, and you can actually see the prices there, so you know what I paid for them. But there we go. We have Samoa Joe. Who else did we get? T.J. Perkins. When I was there last, I saw this figure. They had it in box. And when I went back for the second time, they had it loose. And for $24, I figured it was pretty decent. A figure you really do not see often at all, often talk about, often at shows and stores. But he's got some interesting accessories, including like this Cruiserweight medallion and the Cruiserweight title, which I did not have in my collection. So I was very fortunate to find this loose. And overall, the figure is pretty cool too. I really do like this gear. We're doing T.J. Perkins. Next up here, we did get EY Eric Young. This is a figure I've been looking for recently. I was watching a MDT video the other day, and he mentioned this figure, and I was like, you know what? If I see that now, I'm going to grab it. And lo and behold, like 2 days later, I come to That 80s Toy Shop, and we have the Eric Young Elite. Super excited to get that out of the package. You can take a look at it. Next up here, we grabbed this Bobby Fish. And as I was looking on eBay for a price reference, I actually realized this is the Chase version of the Bobby Fish. Not like a price increase or anything, but it is interesting to have a Chase loose figure. That is really, really cool. So we do have Bobby Fish. I'm a big fan of the Undisputed Era, and I have an Adam Cole Elite, not from this, the single jointed era though. I have the Kyle O'Reilly one to match this Bobby Fish, so I'm going to be putting these two guys together. And then I still need a Roderick Strong. I only have the basic of him. Next up here on the final one, for wrestling figures, we did grab this Stone Cold Steve Austin. Doesn't really look too crazy, and for $50 you're thinking, what? But this is actually a ringside exclusive Stone Cold. He's got the red vest, which is a little bit more interesting, and he's got two belts, one of them being the championship, but the other one, and the reason I bought this, is because he comes with the Smoking Skull Championship, a very, very highly sought-after title in the wrestling world, both for replicas and for the elite scaled version. But for $50, I referenced it on eBay, it'd be the same price there. So I was like, you know what, I'd pick it up loose now and have it in hand, and I can finally have that Smoking Skull title. I can't wait to throw that into my display collection. Next up here, kind of a one-off, we did end up getting this, I forget what his name is, but like Captain Atom or Captain Atomic or Atomic Man, something like that, but I'm a massive fan of DC Classics figures, and this is just, I just thought it was cool. For $10, I had a gift card, actually. I think this is the one I used the gift card on, this and the Samoa Joe. I had like a $25 gift card, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to grab these two and kind of knock it off the table there. But yeah, we did grab that DC Classics. Always great. Those figures are so good. Next up here, I'll just get the shirt out of the way. For Christmas, kind of a belated Christmas present, we did get this WWE Shop CM Punk shirt. Kind of a throwback. You can see straight edge hardcore. A throwback shirt, I should say. then CM Punk on the back, made of that kind of like nylon athletic material. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about there. But we do have that shirt. And then what else here? Let's go over the classified. So last night, actually, I was looking on their Facebook. It was like 6:30. And I saw that they had just gotten in a huge collection of loose G.I. Joe classified. And I believe I've showed it off on the channel here, but I do have a little diorama of G.I. Joe over there that I'm currently in the process of working on. And I always need cheap Joes to go with it. So I found these. I'm pretty sure like the most expensive one was this Cobra for like 14 bucks. All the rest of them were for like 10 bucks. So I was totally happy with that. And like I said, it was 6:30. I drove right over there before they closed at 7 and made sure to grab all of these. But we do have Cobra Commander, which looks great. So we have that. There's Cobra Commander. We have Rock and Roll, kind of a peg warmer, but for 10 bucks, you know, I kind of wanted to have him in the collection. Next up here, Gung Ho, another peg warmer, but this is the original version, not that like, you know, teal blue Gung Ho version. So we finally have him. Zartan, and for 10 bucks, this guy goes for like 30 online, so this was kind of a steal. But Zartan is a really cool figure overall, so I'm glad to have him as well. And then next up here, Grunt, one that I really wanted for quite some time, and for 10 bucks again, there's no complaints there. What else do we have here? And then finally, Destro. Another bad guy to have on the plate here. We got Cobra Commander, got Destro. You know, we're not too far off from having the Rogues Gallery there. But that is going to be it for the loose stuff. Penultimate, I'm just going to talk about things. I did manage to get 2 of those like Walmart, Target, WWE Elite display shippers. You guys know what I'm talking about, those big, you know, boxes where all the Elites are held and everything. I did manage to snag 2 of those on my trip, but I'm actually going to save those for a toy show in Rochester coming up on January 18th, and I'm going to be selling those there, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But next up here on the list, before we get to the final item, is going to be all of the in-box stuff that I did get. So I have this nice box right here. I'm just going to reach in here and grab everything out. So for starters, we're going to pull these 2 out right here. And if you're seeing the first one, you probably can assume what the second one is going to be. We do the Defining Moments Rob Van Dam. And all of these in-box figures, again, I did get these from That 80s Toy Shop. So they do have very like new and recent figures there. We did get the Defining Moments Rob Van Dam, but more importantly, we got the Defining Moments CM Punk. You know, a little hefty price, but I didn't have this yet, and it was a decent price there, so I made sure to pick it up. I actually bought the whole 4-pack and then opened it and then sold the 2, I think it was the Hogan and the Yokozuna or somebody, maybe, I don't know, but I sold them right back to the shop for more credit on this. So I don't know if you guys understand that, but kind of a little thing I played there. We got Punk and the Rob Van Dam Defining Moments, and speaking of defining moments, we also managed to find a Defining Moments Sting, one of my all-time favorite Elites. I already have this one loose, and it's just so cool that I found this for, I think it was $125. That's what I got it for. I thought that was a fair price to have it right there in hand. It's in great condition, and I'm just so happy to have this. This is like, when it comes to Defining Moments figures, aside from the Punk, this has to be my favorite one of the entire series that they've ever done of Defining Moments, and it's awesome to have it in the, and also, something else I wanted to point out. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but the Defining Moments have really cool and unique packaging for the wrestler. If you see there in the background, it has like their logos. If I come over here to Punk, you can see in the background his logos there. That is really cool. I never really noticed that, and that is super cool. But yeah, so we have that. And then finally here, something that a lot of you guys might like. Well, actually, not finally. We have 2 more items. We managed to get the very rare and elusive Fan Takeover Jeff Hardy Ultimate Edition. I got this for $80. Where's the price tag? Oh, did they take it off? Oh, I guess they took it off, huh? I had a price tag of $80, but there you go. So $80. This thing goes for like $100, $120 on eBay, so I think I lucked out with the price. I had to grab that for the price. I thought it was such a steal. But there we go. So the Jeff Hardy Fan Takeover Ultimate as well. You can see there. Fan Takeover on the side if we have any doubters out there. Second item to last, we did manage to find a copy of AEW Fight Forever. I've always wanted to play this game, and I had some extra cash, so I figured I'd buy this for a decent price. Half off, technically. You know, it's originally $60, now it's $30. I could have gotten it cheaper somewhere else, probably, but hey, I really wanted this game. I can't wait to try it out, and I actually mean that. I cannot wait. But, folks, the final and most important item that we have here today, and I actually am probably going to have to move the camera back a little bit here. We got this steal of a lifetime, that being a replica AEW Championship. Full size, full scale, everything. So I went to That 80s Toy Shop, and as I was checking out, I saw this beautiful baby on the bottom shelf, and I said, "Ooh, Is that for sale? Is that signed? And you guys know what the championship looks like, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time showing off for you guys. But I was like, what the heck? And I was like, can I take a look at that thing? He pulled it out from behind the counter, and lo and behold, he was asking for $100 for it. $100. I looked it up on eBay, and let's just say that definitely was not the price at what this thing is valued at. So I lucked out. I gave them a whole ton of money this week, though, so I am not concerned about, underpaying for something. But that has to be one of the best things I've ever gotten, ever. Collector, top of the heap. That Raven was really one thing last week, but this championship has to take it. The best thing I've ever found out in the wild. Finally, I have my own AEW championship. But folks, I will leave it there. Quite the video, quite the haul, and I can't wait to throw all this stuff in my collection and see you guys soon in the future. Once again, huge thank you to That 80s Toy Shop in Tonawanda, New York, or Buffalo, New York. If you are in the area, please go check them out. If you're a fan of any kind of figures or collectibles at all, they will have it there. As always, folks, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.